Page 40, Riding the Wind. Top of the page, they're talking more about musical form. We've had a little bit already. We've had a two-part. I didn't tell you about it, I don't think. It's an A-B. Two-part that we had before is called binary, bi meaning two. This is three-part ABA form, three different sections, called ternary. Not that important, but that's what it is. Generally, when a piece starts out with an A section, well, they all start with an A section, and it has multiple sections in it, a lot of times it will end with the same melody that it started with. It kind of brings it around full circle. So it's in a ternary form, a three-part form, it would be an ABA. Nothing says you have to. You could have an ABC, because each section is labeled, given a letter, depending on whether it's the same as another section or not. An A section, maybe if I change the A section slightly when I bring it back, then I'd put a little number by it and it would be an A1, or I could have an A2. It's the same as the A section, but it's been changed a little bit. Not enough to be a new section, but a little bit. And a lot of times they'll do that. It'll be an AB, A1 type thing. So the A section on this starts out here with just the eighth notes. So forth. And then the B section, if you can find it, a lot of times they'll put double bars between sections to help you out, but they don't have to. In this piece they didn't. So where is the B section? Well, if you look over on measure 17, that's what it is. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you that or not, but that's it. It's a different melody than you had at the beginning. And then when you go down to measure 25, you're back to the A. That again, it sounds the same as it was before, except it ends a little different. So you might say, well, that's really an A1 section, because it's not quite the same as the A section. You could put an A1 on that if you wanted to. It's a matter of opinion. Different people will argue about different things on this. Don't you love it? And so, however, my opinion, it would be an A1, but you can call it an A if you want to. Now, 2/4 time, and you have three sections. See, this is all part of looking it over first, and then let's do the right hand here. When it comes in, remember the A, we've had these notes. 1 and 2 and, 1 and 2 and. And then during the rest, while the left hand is doing its thing, you come up here. 1 and 2 and, 1 and, then measure 5. 1 and 2. And then for measure, the next line is the same as the first line. Let's go to measure 13. You're up here. And then measure 17. 1 and 2 and, 1 and 2 and, 1 and 2 and, 1. Isn't this fun? And then for measure 21, you're holding the B down forever until you get a C. At the end, the last three measures. You're here. I suggest you play that half note B and the next to the last measure with the thumb. You don't have to. You can use third finger. But it's just, in my opinion, if I use thumb, then when I play the note in the last measure that has an AVA over it, all I got to do is just reach up the octave. I already talked about feeling an octave. Just play it. The fingering they want you to do is third finger, and then lift up and use third finger again. Well, that might be fun, but it's dangerous and it's not the best fingering to do. I'd like you to get into a good fingering habit, so I would prefer you use thumb on that and just reach up and play it with an octave. Now, you can play that with third finger if you want, and then substitute the thumb, put the thumb on it after you play it. That's fine too. Here, and then go up. That's up to you and your teacher how you do that. Left hand, at the beginning, you're here. 1 and 2 and, then you get treble clef. Same thing, an octave higher. And then measure 5, you're still in treble clef. 1 and 2. And then bass clef, for measure 9, it's the same as the first line. Alright, go over to measure 15, top of page 41. This is treble clef. 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, wasn't that fun? Let's go down to measure 21. Left hand gets the melody. Yay. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then next line, just lift up and move. Just third finger and move. And then again, and the last line, measure 29, 1 and 2, and then that E in the last two measures is tied. You just hang on to it. Put the hands together, starting here. 1 and 2 and 1. As you're playing this, get the left hand over. I suggest for now connect all of this together. So it's 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. That A is by itself. Don't matter what it sounds like right now, that's what it is. That's okay. And then you go on and you kind of do that again. Let's go over to measure 17. You're here, 1 and 2 and 1 and. Now that B is tied forever. Just hang on to it. And then measure 21, 1 and 2. And here. And then you lift up. Now, the left hand plays first. So focus, just leave the right hand where it is. Focus on getting the left hand down here. And then as you play the left hand, you can move the right hand. Like so. Once you get a handle on that, then we can put in these slurs that they've got. I don't agree with them, but they put them in. Let's see. It's just it's like taking a breath between each one. You just lift up a little bit. Don't play it staccato. It's just lift up. I really disagree with the slurs. I'd prefer to slur it all together. Just all connect it all. However, that's not what they did. Then go back and add the dynamics. Softens both hands. Whatever you think soft is. Then you're going to crescendo up to moderately loud for measure 5. It's both hands again, but don't get moderately loud until measure 5. So plan it out. So maybe in measure 3 I'm soft. Measure 4 I'm moderately soft. Now I'm moderately loud. So again at the beginning. And then you come back down. And then soft again, do it again. Moderately soft, measure 17. Now measure 22 and 23, you're going to swell up to the G. You're going to come back down. So that measure 21 here. So, the right hand you hang on to it. And then you're soft again at the bottom, do all that again. And then at the end you slow down and it gets soft. So forth. Fermato, you just hang on to that however long. When I do it with a metronome, I'll double it and I'll hang on to it for 4 counts instead of 2. Speed-wise, freely with expression. Well, that narrows it down, doesn't it? Whatever you said, they give you metronome a range, and that is a range, so it has to be accurate. How fast can you be accurate with these eighth notes and moving your hands around? So however you pick a speed that's right for you. As you're learning it, you start slow and you can gradually build it up, spill it up. However you're going to do it, get it to go faster over time. Then we add the pedal. See, I did all this without pedal because I want to hear exactly what the hands are doing. And that way when I do add pedal, I can also hear exactly the effect the pedal is having to it. Because sometimes I'll experiment with the pedal and see different things, try different things with the pedal, because it gives all kinds of different feelings. So at the beginning, I'll push the notes down and then the pedal. Now you do change the pedal. They're showing changing the pedal at measure 5. So I'm going to change the pedal, lift it up, after I play the first notes in measure 5, right after them. So it would go that way. And then change the pedal again, measure 9. Change the pedal at measure 13. You get the idea? That's the same thing on measure 25. They're changing the pedal in there too. So just overlap the pedal. That is, you do the notes first and then you change the pedal. So it overlaps it just a hair. You see, if you try and be accurate and change the pedal when you play the notes, you won't be accurate all the time, and sometimes you'll change the pedal too soon and you'll lose the sound. And it really sounds terrible when it happens. So to be safe, it's been found that if you just overlap it just a little bit, you always have sound. You don't have to be quite so accurate with the pedal when you do that, because you got plenty of other things to think about. So I encourage you to overlap the pedal on this. It is the most common style of pedaling used. There are others that we'll cover a little later, but right now let's get this part. I'd like to play this with you very slowly to double check all the notes and rhythms and things. I'm not going to do any dynamics. I can't slow down or any of that. I'll give us 4 counts and then let's just try it together slowly. 1 and 2 and ready and go and. And 2 and. 1 and 2 and. 1, 2, hold, 2, off.